As the night wore on, the billionaire turned to the couple and offered $1 million for one night with the woman.
I were to offer you $1 million for one night with your wife,
I'd tell you to go to hell.
Stunned and offended. But later, alone in their hotel room, the silence stretched. They couldn't sleep. The offer lingered, and it was all they could think about. As David Murphy sits alone at the dock, lost in thought, he talks about his love, Diana. Not far away, Diana rides a bus bound for the same dock. A memory echoes in her mind, believing David was always hers, just as she belonged to him. Their story began in the unremarkable halls of high school. David was a senior, Diana a freshman. One day he drives her and her best friend, and that's when they met. By 19, at the same dock, David proposed. Their families opposed the match, but love drowned out caution, and the young couple eloped. Life afterward was modest. They moved into a small home. David finished graduate school and landed a job at an architecture firm. Diana supported them by selling houses. Off the clock, he sketched plans for a dream home. They don't have much money, so they spend their free time wandering in the city with David showing her his favorite architecture. But life, indifferent to romance, soon tested them. Diana found a beachfront lot in Santa Monica where David could bring his design to life. They poured every penny into it. Then came the early 90s recession. The housing market collapsed. Diana lost her clients. David lost his job. They needed $50,000 to keep the land. Diana gets stressed, but David promised that he will take care of her. Desperate, David borrowed a fraction of it, just $5,000 from his father. Stress took its toll. One night, Diana spoke in her sleep. David, lying awake, listened and thought. By morning, he had a plan. Las Vegas. They bet on luck, chasing miracles at a casino. At first it worked. They rode a wave of wins, convinced naively that hope and grit could bend fate. David stuck to the craps table, where luck favored him. Meanwhile, Diana wandered through the nearby shops, her thoughts briefly distracted by luxury. That's where John Gage noticed her stealing. He is a billionaire used to getting what he wanted. Gage was struck by her presence. As Diana admired a black dress in a boutique, he approached her from behind and offered to buy it. She declined politely. He simply told her he wanted to buy the dress for her because he enjoyed watching her. She returned to the casino, where David, still flushed with victory, welcomed her back. Together, they tallied their winnings. $25,000, half of what they needed, but still far from safe. Flush with their winnings, David and Diana retreated to their hotel room, laughing and rolling in a pile of bills. They were giddy with triumph. They will go back again to get more so that they can get the entire payment for the land. That night, their celebration ended in intimacy, but Vegas doesn't reward optimism for long. The next evening, their winning streak vanished. Losses piled up fast, and by midnight, they'd fallen below where they started. Weary and nearly broke, with only $4,100 left, they sat in the casino's diner and debated what to do. Unsure, they flipped a coin to decide whether to keep playing. Deep down though, they both still wanted to chase one last win. They went back and lost everything. Diana cried as David comforted her. As they prepared to leave, they saw a crowd gathered around a poker table. John Gage, the billionaire Diana had met the night before, was losing big. His golden poker chips, each worth $10,000, were slipping away. Then he noticed Diana watching. He asked if David could lend him his wife for luck. David told him he will have to ask her, and reluctantly Diana agreed to sit with him. As she sat, Gage told her that he was losing before she came, and he won his first round when she appeared, so he is convinced that she is his lucky charm. After another loss, Gage asked if she knew any games. She mentioned dice. With that, Gage gave a signal. His assistant sprang into action, arranging $1 million game of craps. The casino prepped a display box packed with gold chips worth 7 figures. At the table, Diana needed to roll a 7 or 11. Everyone watched in suspense as the dice hit the felt. Then it landed on 7. The room exploded in cheers. Diana, exhilarated, ran to David, her heart pounding with the thrill of it all. It was surreal. Afterward, Gage thanked them and invited the couple to celebrate. He offered to cover their hotel stay, and they accepted. The room they were given was extravagant, far beyond anything they could afford. Later that evening, a man named Mr. Shackelford knocked on their door with a gift from Gage. They are also invited for a dinner that Gage is throwing that night. David opened the box inside their room. Inside it is the black dress Diana had admired the night before. It had cost $5,000. She was stunned. That night, they attended Gage's private party. As the evening came to a close, Gage made a chilling offer, $1 million for one night with Diana. David and Diana were stunned. They rejected him outright, disgusted, but Gage seemed confident they would reconsider. The proposal hit hard. It left a shadow over their night. The idea was grotesque, yet the money was real. They were drowning in debt, facing a financial crisis. Both of them stay wide awake thinking about it. After a long silence, they finally talked. Diana suggests they accept. David doesn't even want to talk about this, but Diana insisted her heart and mind would stay with David. Gage would only have her body. The next morning, David contacted his old lawyer friend, Jeremy Green, and explained their decision. Jeremy was outraged, not at the decision, but at the price. He told David they could have negotiated for at least double. Still frustrated, Jeremy arrived at the casino soon after. Contract in hand, airtight and explicit, Diana prepares to stay with Gage. Before he goes, David kisses her goodbye, trying to mask his turmoil. He heads to a nearby bar with Jeremy, but the noise and glitzy absurdity of Las Vegas start to grate on him. Surrounded by flashing lights and robotic distractions, something inside him snaps. The reality of what he's agreed to crashes down. Overwhelmed, David rushes to Gage's suite, hoping to stop what he had just allowed, but it's too late. A helicopter has already taken off, with Diana in it. Meanwhile, Diana is on Gage's private yacht. There are clothes inside for her. She changed and put on her makeup before going out to meet Gage. As they are standing outside watching the water, he asks who made the decision. She told him they both did, but Gage told her he wouldn't share her with anyone if she was his. Gage, unfazed, turns the moment into a game. He offers a coin toss. Tails, she walks away. Heads, the night proceeds. He flips. It's heads. Gage thrives on dominance and control, and Diana's resistance only fuels his ego. He leans in for a kiss. The next morning, Diana returns to the hotel. David is sitting alone, hollowed out. She enters quietly. No words are exchanged, just an embrace. They kiss, trying to forget the previous day. They go home and attempt to move forward, but the past isn't done with them. Upon returning, they find their property gone, foreclosed, and sold. No one will reveal who bought it. David, livid, causes a scene at the office. They both are angry about the loss, but David is more angry. He can't seem to let it go. He found a match that says Griffon. He begins to spiral and asks Diana to talk about that night. She tells him Griffon is the name of Gage's boat. The mistrust grows louder. Their shared trauma starts pulling them apart. Later, as he goes through her wallet, he finds Gage's business card. He then goes to Diana and confronts her. The confrontation ends in an argument. Eventually, Diana resolves to reclaim their life. With the $1 million still untouched, she investigates who purchased their land. To her horror, she learns it was Gage. Furious, she storms into a restaurant where he's having lunch. She yanks the tablecloth, sending food and drinks flying. Outside, she confronts him. Gage shrugs off the accusation, claiming it was just a business deal. He flirts again. Diana, exhausted by his games, shuts him down and walks away. Diana returns home to tell David what happened. The moment she mentions Gage, David explodes, hurling a wine bottle against the wall. He doesn't listen. He only wants to know one thing: if she enjoyed that night. Diana won't answer, but David insisted, and she told him she did enjoy it. She started saying it was all for him, but he called her selfish. She wanted Gage, and that is why she slept with him. Their argument ends with David walking out. He moves in with Jeremy. Weeks pass. Diana tries to reach him, but David ignores every call. Jeremy, caught in the middle, urges them both to talk, reminding David that what they had was real. Diana called Jeremy to tell him she doesn't want the money, but David doesn't want it either. One day, Diana's boss delivers the good news and tells her a wealthy buyer is waiting. She walks to the front and finds Gage. She refuses to help him, but her boss insists she is the best he got. Reluctantly, she agrees. Gage pretends to house hunt, but it's clearly an excuse to stay close. He flirts, she declines, again and again. Eventually, they arrive at an extravagant estate. Diana realizes it's already Gage's. He had no interest in buying. He told her the house needs her. Diana told him they simply cannot work because of the way they met. Despite his pleas, Diana told him she won't be an object that he collects. With time on her hands, Diana begins teaching citizenship classes. One afternoon, in walks Gage, completely uninvited. He plants himself in her classroom like he owns the room and her. His shameless admiration for Diana is on full display, as is his inability to grasp what's appropriate. After class, he takes her back to the lavish estate from earlier and shares a story. As a young man, he once let a beautiful girl slip away because he was too shy to speak to her. Now, he says, he'll never make that mistake again. Diana, emotionally fragile and starved for connection, falls for the story, and just like that, she gives in. Meanwhile, David is spiraling. Memories of Diana haunt him. He looks at her pictures, feeling the regret of losing her. One night, he follows the couple to a hotel. Soaked from the rain, he tries to talk to her but ends up throwing a punch at Gage. He missed and fell, knocking himself unconscious. Gage's assistant, Shackelford, quietly drives David back to his small shack. In the weeks that follow, David begins to rebuild. He takes a job as an architecture professor, far beneath his qualifications, but he discovers real fulfillment in teaching. His students admire him with his new style of teaching. After the class ends, Jeremy visits with news. Diana wants a divorce. If he complies, he will get everything, including the land and the money. Elsewhere, Gage drags Diana to an animal auction. There, he engages in an absurd bidding war over a hippopotamus. Just as he's about to win, David appears, offering $1 million for the animal. Everyone's stunned, including Gage. David's message is clear. He's letting go of the money and, with it, every last string that ties him to Gage. Diana told him she wanted him to have the money. Gage steps aside and allows David to speak with Diana. David apologizes. He admits to his jealousy, his insecurities, and the pain he never fully understood. He tells her he finally sees what matters, not perfection, but forgiveness. He acknowledges that he once feared Gage might be the better man, but now he knows better. All Gage ever had was money. With that, David signs the divorce papers and walks away. Gage watches them, sympathy sparking inside him. Later, in the car, Gage sits in silence. In a bizarre attempt to push her away gracefully, he invents a story about $1 million club full of women like her. Shackelford, ever the loyal aide, plays along, but Diana sees right through the lie. She knows it's Gage's way of letting her go without saying it outright. In that moment, he gives her what she truly needs: freedom. Before she leaves, Gage hands her the coin he once flipped on the yacht, his lucky charm. She thanks him with a final kiss and runs for her bus. After she's gone, Shackelford asks why he let her go. Gage simply says he understands now. Diana would never look at him the way she looked at David. On the bus, Diana examines the coin. It's double-headed. She returns to the dock, the one where David had once proposed, to revisit what they'd lost. To her surprise, David is already there, holding on to the same memories. He thought it was over. Diana sits behind him, separated with a thin wood. She tells him she loves him. They reach for each other and sat there smiling while holding each other. Hit the like button and subscribe. The Explanation Pro.